Welcome to this explainer. Look, we're going to bypass all that constant hype you hear about self-driving tech. Instead, as you can see from the real actual autonomous vehicle and drone footage we're looking at today, we really want to demonstrate how this works in the real world. We're diving into the invisible operational infrastructure that's actually going to govern our autonomous future. We always hear about what these machines are technically capable of, right? But today, we're zeroing in on a system called AEON and why permission is about to change literally everything. Because without this invisible infrastructure, the difference between a future of chaotic traffic and seamless autonomy, it's zero.
So this brings us to a really important framing question. We know autonomous machines can already see, think, navigate, act. They do it with incredible precision. But who actually permits those actions in the real world? A drone might know exactly how to fly, a car knows precisely how to drive, but who is telling them, hey, you have the authority to operate right now, in this specific environment, under these exact conditions?
Let's dive right into this central tension. A machine's technical capability to do a thing absolutely does not equal its operational permission to do it. Just because an autonomous robot can physically move forward doesn't mean it has the legal or operational authority to do so at that exact second. This gap between what a machine can do and what it is allowed to do, that's exactly what we're exploring today. And bridging that gap, it's totally critical if we ever want thousands of these intelligent machines operating safely all around us.
All right, Section 1, the missing authorization layer. Bridging the gap between intelligence and reality. Let's get into it.
Right now, autonomous systems are basically operating through disconnected permissions, static rules, manual approvals. The systems just don't talk to each other. And that creates a massive gap in how our physical infrastructure is actually managed, especially when you start throwing multiple intelligent machines into the exact same space. Well, AEON is designed to fix this. Now notice here, AEON isn't just another software app or a fancy dashboard. It is the foundational, computable infrastructure for the physical world. It's the missing layer that looks at an intelligent machine's decision and determines whether that decision is actually allowed to become a physical reality.
Think of it like a digital checkpoint that every single machine has to pass through, in milliseconds. Before any autonomous system acts, an operator, or even the machine itself, has to submit these critical conditions into the AEON system for real-time evaluation. AEON looks at who the machine is, what its mission is, exactly where it wants to go, the time window, and the governing policy. It evaluates all of this risk and trust data instantly. Why does this matter? Well, maybe a delivery drone is perfectly capable of flying over a neighborhood, but local policy strictly forbids it during school dismissal hours. The intelligence says go, but the trust and risk data says stop. Nothing moves until this entire checklist is verified.
Moving on to Section 2, dynamic decisions in real time. The machine-readable outcomes. So, it's one thing to check a list, right? It's a completely different thing to issue an enforceable command at machine speed. The really crucial point here is that AEON evaluates the inputs against the governing policy and returns one of these specific binding authorization outcomes. It doesn't just give a simple yes or no. It can explicitly allow, deny, reroute, suspend, or preempt an operation based on what's happening in the physical world at that exact moment. Like, suspending a flight means stopping it temporarily while a condition clears, whereas preempting it might mean forcing an immediate landing because, say, a higher priority mission just entered the airspace.
And this brilliantly illustrates this strict execution boundary at the heart of this tech. An AI agent or an autonomous machine proposes the action. It does the complex math of how to get from point A to point B. The machine has the intelligence, but AEON holds the authority. Only AEON authorizes whether the machine actually gets to act on that proposal. Picture a real-world scenario, and you can actually see this playing out with real drone footage. A medical drone is sitting on a launch pad, requesting a critical supply delivery right across a busy city. It's got its route plotted, batteries charged. If the identity is verified, the time window is correct, and those approved corridor policies are satisfied, AEON issues this command, authorized. And only then does that drone actually launch into the sky.
But here's the thing.
authorization isn't just a one-time approval you get before you leave the house. The world changes constantly. If a temporary obstruction activates mid-flight, say a news helicopter suddenly enters the airspace, or a restricted zone pops up, AEON continuously evaluates that changing world. It instantly issues a machine-readable command to reroute, and the drone seamlessly modifies its path mid-air. The world changes, and the authorization changes right along with it.
Similarly, consider a real actual autonomous vehicle out on the road. Say it's driving its authorized route down a busy downtown street. If an emergency responder suddenly approaches that same intersection, AEON instantly recognizes that priority shift. It issues this command: preempt. The autonomous vehicle is instantly instructed to stop or divert so the fire truck or ambulance can proceed safely. AEON isn't driving the car, it's simply managing who has the permission to use the road at any given millisecond. Which brings us to Section 3, the action that never occurs, the power of denial. It's incredibly fascinating to think about what happens when things don't line up perfectly. When invalid conditions, like an expired credential, a sudden policy conflict, maybe an unauthorized location request, when those are submitted into the AEON sandbox, the system returns an immediate response: denied. The physical machine is kept safely locked down. It refuses to let intelligence override permission. So a fully capable machine just sits there, grounded, ensuring a potentially dangerous situation literally never materializes.
I love this because it highlights such a profound concept. The most important autonomous action may be the action that never occurs. Even if the machine is entirely capable, fully charged, and the mission is technically possible, safety is guaranteed because the operation was never authorized. You know, sometimes doing absolutely nothing is the greatest feature a system can have.
Section 4. Infrastructure for the Autonomous Century. Scaling the trust fabric.
What we're looking at here isn't just a point solution for a single drone delivery or like one smart intersection. AEON is building a universal trust fabric that is meant to scale across entire industries. This exact same authorization model scales to govern completely different machines across all of these critical environments. We're talking air corridors, road networks, rail systems, maritime logistics, massive power grids, and even AI software agents interacting with physical systems. It's a vast array of totally different machines and vastly different environments, all unified under one overarching authorization fabric.
And this isn't just some theoretical concept for the future. This sequence, an authorization request, a policy evaluation, a decision artifact, and a time-stamped audit record, is being actively demonstrated in AEON Sandbox today. It proves that identity can become enforceable and policy can become executable right now. Authorization is becoming true, functioning infrastructure. Which brings us to this incredible comparison. The autonomous future is not going to be won simply by building machines with the greatest artificial intelligence. We already have highly capable AI, and it's literally improving every single day. No, the future will be won by building the infrastructure that decides which of those intelligent machines are actually permitted to act in our shared physical world.
So I'm going to leave you to ponder this final, pretty provocative thought. Whoever controls authorization controls the economics of autonomy. As millions of autonomous machines multiply and fill our skies and streets, who do you trust to build the invisible infrastructure that keeps them governed? Think about that the next time you see an autonomous vehicle out on the road. Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and keep exploring.